Ladies and gentlemen, how are you? Good to be back for another Nights with Ping coming to you from the windiest Melbourne ever. There's literally like hurricane winds outside or something. It's like rattling everything, and I feel like I'm in I don't know, we're not in Kansas anymore situation. It's really bad out there. How is everyone in the chat? I see Elaine doing her usual nightly stop in. She says, I'm sorry, but I can't stay to watch. It's 2 a.m. here. Hi to everyone and have a good evening. You too have a great sleep. Andrew says, where is everyone? Well, people tend to rock up once it goes live. James Avery says, hi everyone. Hi James, how are you? My friend EDM Leisha, always in the club. How are you? Catatonic, hey, how are you? Marilyn Landis is here. Lynn D. Nancy S. made it. Hi, Nancy S. LA. How are you, LA? Beth B. made it. Hope she's having a good time. Hope she's not too cold. Emily Narb is eating Taco Bell. Lucky person. Uh, yeah, everyone's here. Wuzu's here. Lux is here. Oh, okay. She's going to listen tonight? All right. Well, let me at least get set up and then we'll get going. We got missing people everywhere at the moment, apparently. Missing people. So we're going to talk about missing people to start the show. All right, let me get this sorted out. Wait, what happened here? Where's my camera? Hold on. What happened? Hold on, guys. Give me 1 second. The camera died. Hold on. again? This thing again. Okay, it turned itself off again. Why is it doing that? Oh, we're back. All right. So you guys heard none of that. So there you go. There's the show. Have a great night. It's been a great show. Um, yeah, longest show in the world. Did many stories. It was a really good one. Um, yeah. Oh, Jesus Christ. Tonight's going off to a great start, isn't it? So what I was saying is, why did that turn itself off? That's so weird. It says Penrod was reported missing January 1 by her fiance. She was seen walking away from their Myers Flat home on Boy Scout Road on New Year's Eve. In an interview with local news site, Boyette, her fiance, said that Penrod, who is a new mother, had been acting erratically over the recent weeks and may be suffering from postpartum psychosis. We had a similar story late last year with a woman who had postpartum psychosis, right? It was September, October, I can't remember. I have to look it up, but this is really concerning. They said she was last seen on New Year's Eve on Highway 254 in a bathrobe. A subsequent search by authorities has yielded nothing. They even included an aircraft in the search and nothing. Here's a photo of her in her bathrobe leaving her Myers Flat home on New Year's Eve, and to this time, they still no sightings of her. There is some suggestion that maybe she was in another location. It's up here. Hold on. I'm just trying to make sure that doesn't go off again. Hold on. Hey, Mr. Microphone, be friendly today, all right? There was another location here. We have also received reports of sightings in southern Humboldt County area. However, none have turned out fruitful. There's another photo of Zoe Penrod, 39. I was saying while I was muted, that's a really long time to be missing, right? 18 days almost. Uh, that's a long time for a mom to be out there and not with her child, not with her new baby. That's, where is she? That's why I always think that whenever I read these stories, I go, where is she? I mean, Myers Flats, how big is Myers Flats? Never heard of Myers Flats, but let's have a look. I've never heard of this place, but it's in Humboldt County, California. All right, let's have a look. Okay, it's not exactly a massive place, but what is concerning, it has quite a large river that runs through it called South Fork Eel River. It's quite a large river too. It travels from way up north and travels way down south into, I don't know where it goes, down to the sea basically, heads down to the coast. So it's not a very big town, but there's a lot of bushland. If you look on the maps, there's a lot of bushland out here. Oh yeah, wow, that's not good. I'll show you, see if I can show you guys without doxing myself again. You guys can see this is the town that she lives in here, Myers Flat, and look at the amount of like thick forest land just everywhere. As far as the eye can see. Look at this, I'll zoom out a bit. It is just everywhere. And I mean, I'm sure that's pretty common in California with their, red, like what they call it, red oak forests and things like that. But this is not easy search terrain for anyone. And if she walked into this area, they may not find her for a while. It's horrible to think. But you can see just off the main strip of town, you walk straight into dense trees. But you got this big river as well, see? Loops around the town, goes up and around and, away it goes. So you've got water, thick forest land or bushland, and not a massive kind of town either. Like, it's got, like, a couple of streets. It's not all that big, right? It's this tiny little town of, so she was around. So you can see there's not that many houses. There's a couple of streets. Um, yeah, not easy. Not easy. So it's Humboldt County. Humboldt County. I'm just trying to see what street she was on. Captured on her Myers home. They didn't say. I was trying to see if we knew what street she was on, but yeah, if anyone in California who is from Humboldt County, if you see this woman anywhere, this woman right here, she needs to go home to her baby. Her baby needs her, and it would be great news if she could somehow find her way home or someone sees her. That would be great. Hold on, let me change that. There you go. There's a big photo of her. If someone sees her, please call it in. Call it into this number. Let me get the number. It is the Humboldt County Sheriff's Office at 707-445-7251. Yes, and it says here, for anyone dealing with mental health issues or substance abuse, you can call 1-800-662-HELP 4357. So if you're finding yourself in a situation just like this woman, maybe just had a baby, or you're not understanding what's going on, but you know you need some assistance, give that number a call. You know, it'll change your life and make things better. The only way things can go is up, right? You can be not feeling all that well, you can be depressed or whatever, and we can only help find solutions that get you to the other side. And so I hope that people remember that there's always another side. Um, hey, Sherry Runs Late, how are you? Did I miss Danny Mitchell? I probably did. Danny Mitchell, the chat celebrity. How are you? Hey, Cheated No More. Oh yes, Woos had to leave early last night. Leisha says, I wonder what animal predators they might be. Bears. Bears probably live in Humboldt County. Uh, Bobcats. Do they live in California? Bobcats? Or not bobcats. Cougar? Do cougar live in Northern California? Let's have a look. Humboldt County. I'm just trying to see. Do they live? Yes. Mountain lion live in Humboldt County, apparently. Mountain lions have been spotted in that area several times. I'm seeing news reports from their Redwood News. Actually, here, look at this. This is a photo of sort of like I can't make it bigger, but that's the terrain that she might have got lost in. Look at that. That's one, beautiful, but two, insane to try and search. It's crazy. But yes, apparently, mountain lion or cougar have been spotted in that area. Bobcats are not a problem. They don't attack people. Shock says, who took the photo of her in the road when she walked away? It was a surveillance camera, like a Ring doorbell camera, or they said it was a business. So it was one of their cameras facing the street caught her. I think that's why it's so grainy. It's not, very good quality. It must be like way off in the distance or off on the side. And they just happened to capture her walking by. Zoe Penrod. Let's have a look. Her name's Zoe Penrod. If you missed it, let me find some more information about her. They're just saying the search continues for her. Let's see if we have any more information. Come on. See, like some of the last updates were over 2 weeks ago. I'm just trying to see if there's anything. They sort of gave up. The update from SF Gate is the newest update, and that was today. So here, let's read this. This is from another publication. And they say here, a woman who was reported missing from a residence on Boy Scout Road. Okay, now we know the road. In Myers Flat after she apparently walked away from the home she shares with her fiance David and their 5-month-old son Daniel. In an interview with Redheaded Black Belt, David said that his fiancee Zoe started acting strangely a little over 3 weeks ago, right after she stopped breastfeeding their baby. David told us that Zoe was not acting like herself, culminating in her leaving to visit friends without relaying her whereabouts. Discovering she was with friends, the new father thought the mother of his child was perhaps struggling with sleep deprivation. David said he encouraged Zoe to stay overnight with the friends while he watched the baby so she could get some rest. He said that when he said was when he noticed her strange behavior escalate. He said, Zoe is a sweet, sweet lady. She's the mother of my child. She's just not herself. She's not well. It's terrifying, to be honest with you. The week prior to Christmas, David said Zoe shared with him that she could hear voices calling her to go outside, including voices that mimicked his own as well as his friends. Her mental health has spiraled, David claimed, until she stopped eating and sleeping, believing her food was poisoned. It's hard to explain that maybe they're not thinking too clearly at that point in time. Unable to convince his fiancée to seek treatment, David said he contacted law enforcement as a last resort. The officers were able to coax Zoe into a patrol vehicle before transporting her to Soham Health in Garberville for evaluation. After a 3-day hold, Zoe was released, seemingly in a more stable condition. However, David said that once again she began acting erratically, and he and others believe Zoe may be suffering from postpartum psychosis. That's horrible. Maybe she heard those voices again to telling her to go outside. Um, he said that as he and his mum, who is a nurse, tried to work out a plan to get Zoe treatment, her condition deteriorated. Zoe stated that on New Year's Eve morning, Zoe was outside in the yard, something she was doing more frequently, as the voices beckoned her outside. He spoke with her before hearing the baby wake up. After tending to their child, David said he returned outside to find that Zoe had disappeared. He and others searched the vicinity for her, though their attempts to locate Zoe were unsuccessful. I I don't even know. Yeah, this is what I was wondering here actually. It says David has asked that if anyone sees Zoe that they do not try to approach her for fear that her mental state may cause her to try and evade those trying to assist her. I 100% was about to mention that they may be searching for her. She may be close, but every time they get close, she hides or she ducks behind something or she hides behind trees and shrubs and things like that. I really think that maybe that's exactly what's happening, and she's sort of evading everyone, um, around town. She may be hiding in the woods, that type of thing. I mean, what a horrible situation for that family. It says Zoe sometimes goes by the nickname Rhonda. She's 38 years old, almost 39. She's 5'5" tall, weighs 150 pounds roughly. Her natural hair color is dirty blonde, though David said she recently dyed it an auburn red. She has green eyes. She was last seen December 31st around 8:30 a.m. at a residence on Boy Scout Road wearing a dress and oversized green leather shoes. Sorry, I hope they can find you, my dear. I really do. Your baby needs you. And that, you know, when you get healthy, it'll still need you. I don't know. I don't know what to offer as support for the family other than if anyone lives in that town, just keep an eye out for something odd, food going missing or supplies moving around, gates being unlocked, that type of weird kind of spooky stuff, and report it to police and hopefully try and get her home, get her help, get her some medical attention because she's just not thinking right. She'll get there eventually. I mean, it happens to a lot of mums, unfortunately. I don't have anything more about her. The updates have sort of trailed off over the last couple of weeks, but I wanted to try and bring it back up to keep it in people's minds. So that's it. That's all I've got. Unfortunately, we have another missing person. Another one. Everyone's going missing in the New Year's. Is it a New Year's resolution? I don't know. But let's have a look here. This time it's a mother pleading for her missing daughter to return home. A Reading mother is pleading for her missing teenage daughter to return home. Emily York was last seen at her grandmother's house off Lake Boulevard in Reading, Calif. On November 29, 2023. That's a while ago. York was added to the City of Reading's missing persons list on December 7th, just 4 days before her 13th birthday. 13. She's very young. Emily's mum, Ginny Wire, says she battles with mental illness. Emily doesn't have a cell phone and there is no concrete leads on where she is now. Geez, there's a photo of her and her mum. She says, I don't think she's dead or anything, but I just want her to confirm with me that she's alive. I just want to hear her voice and know she's okay. All I have right now is people telling me, oh, I've seen her here. Oh, I've seen her there. But I have not spoken to my daughter since the end of November. And it's really, really frightening thing for a mother to have to go through. There's a photo of Emily and a post from her mum. She says, Emily, I miss you. If you see this, please contact me. I'm not mad, honey. I'm just extremely worried about you. I need to know you're okay. I need to hear your voice. My heart is physically hurting. You don't understand. I'm scared. I've lost you. Please just call me. You know my number. You know how to contact me. If you see this, please call. So she says her husband died last year, and so it kind of affected her pretty harshly. She ran away in November and was put into a mental health facility, then came home and ran away immediately. And that's when she went to grandma's, hoping she could cool down a little. But she eloped from grandma's house. Um, she says she just needs to be in a safe place. She can't be in a homeless camp. She can't be hanging out with people who do drugs. She's 13. She needs to be home with me. Emily is described as 5'2", 100 pounds, with brown hair and hazel eyes. Her mum is uncertain if she changed her look since she went missing. So there's a photo of her. I'll blow that up. There you go. It is very sad. We don't want anyone missing. Hold on, guys. Yes, Redding, California. A heat sensing drone. That might be a good idea, Beth B, for the missing woman in Humboldt County. That would be a good one. A drone with a FLIR camera or FLIR camera or whatever they call it. Um, yeah, sad to have to do two missing persons tonight. Every time I see these, I'm just like, please go home. please, please find a way back to your family. I'm just going to check if I have anything else about Emily. I don't think I do though, but there's a couple of good photos actually. There's a photo of her sort of with lighter hair, more natural brown, like mousy brown hair. And this photo here, her hair looks sort of more dyed black. Is that the way I would describe this? Is that her? Yeah, that's her, right? So more like a dyed color. Let's see. Or it looks like she changes her appearance quite often. Let's see if this video tells us anything about her.
Thanks, Brian. A Reading mother is pleading for her missing young daughter to return home. 13-year-old Emily York was last seen November 29th when she left her grandmother's home on Lake Boulevard. The North States News Sam Committee spoke with Emily's mother this morning, and he's here with us tonight. Sam.
Yeah, good evening, Mike. Emily York was added to the City of Reading's missing persons list on December 7th, just 4 days before her 13th birthday. Her mom, Jenny Wire, says she battles with mental illness. Emily does not have a cell phone, and there are no concrete leads on her current whereabouts.
I don't think she's, dead or anything, but I just want her to confirm with me that she's alive. I just want to hear her voice and just know she's okay. Because all I have right now is people telling me, oh, I've seen her here, I've seen her there, but I have not spoken to my daughter since the end of November. And it's a really, really frightening thing for a mother to have to go through that.
A recent Facebook post from Jenny was shared by hundreds as the effort to track Emily down ramps up.
My husband died last year, so it kind of affected her pretty harshly. And she ran away in early November and was put into a mental health facility. and then came home and then ran away immediately. And that's when she went to grandma's, hoping maybe she could cool down a little. She just needs to be in a safe place. She can't be in a homeless camp. She can't be hanging out with people who do drugs, and she's 13. She needs to be with me.
Emily is described as 5'2", 100 pounds, with brown hair and hazel eyes. Jenny's not sure if her daughter has changed her look like her hair since she was last seen by family nearly 2 months ago. Anybody with information on Emily's whereabouts should call the Reading Police Department. Reporting in the studio, Sam Commenti, the North States News.
There you go. Some information from, if I can get it right, KRCR, ABC 7 News. So there you go. Give them a like on Facebook, and like the story about this girl. I just don't know. Maybe she's got being held by like a friend or something, because her mum seems to think she's not, you know, dead or abducted or something like that. She seems pretty certain that she's sort of with friends or something, or surviving somehow on her own. Yeah, I don't know, but hope, Emily, you get home to your mom. She seems very worried about you, and issues with parents can, for the most part, be worked through. And you'll understand later in life that you only get one mum, and she'll end up being very important to you if you don't feel that way at the moment. And Zoe Penrod, our missing lady from Myers Flat in Humboldt County, I I hope I get stories in the next couple of days saying that you both have been found, and that we have to pull down any tweets about you both, because you can go back to your lives. That's what I hope. That's right. LA says only one mom and one dad. Well, her father died. Emily's father died last year, and they're saying that set her off uh, mentally over the last 12 months. Let me see. Nalana says, this makes me upset if an adult knows where she is and isn't being responsible and calling Emily's mum. Yeah, this is true. Yes, Emily's dad passed away last year. Sorry to hear that, Robin Lane. It's never an easy thing to lose a parent or a relative. And yeah, it's just not a lot of fun getting older and then losing people, or losing people when you're young. It can happen at any time, just like what happened to Emily. She lost her dad at 13. It's a very young age to have to deal with that kind of grief. So let me see if anyone has anything else about this. I like this idea though. I wonder if they'll try this. A heat-seeking drone. Hey, Cheetah No More, how are you? Cheetah No More says, years ago there was a bunch of missing in Humboldt County. This case seems to be different, however. Predators are always looking for victims. It's a long time to be missing. Like 18 days. It's a long time. Hey, Burnt Popcorn, how are you? Good to see you. Let's talk about the big case of the day, which is Jennifer Dulos Murder. I hope I'm saying her last name right. This case, makes me angry. I I read about this case. I don't know every tiny tidbit about it, but I remember watching a documentary like a year ago or a couple of years ago during the pandemic. They had a documentary called something in Canon, something a disappearance in Canon. Hold on, let me look it up. Oh, Vanished in New Canon, an ID mystery. And I remember when that came out and I watched it, and I was so appalled by everything that, I saw this pop up in the last couple of days for the trial, and I was like, well, we should quickly talk about it, at least a little bit. Um, the one thing I remember is that her husband, who was accused of murdering her, he took his own life by attaching a vacuum cleaner hose to his car and then pumping the carbon dioxide into like where he was sitting, and he took his own life. He had a suicide note that said something like, "Oh, it wasn't me. I'm innocent. I never did anything," something like that. And but the police evidence of the property didn't paint it that way. If I remember correctly, they found blood in the sink area that was a mixture of his blood and her blood, but mostly her blood, if I'm remembering correctly. And we'll read about it in a second. I'm just going to load up this document. Yeah, there's been a few stories where it feels like no one wins and everyone, like the children lose both parents and obviously going to live an altered existence. Hey, Gizmo. Yeah, it's been a long time, 2019. So let me set this up. This is a photo of her. No, wait. Yes. Sorry, I thought I had a different link for a second. There you go. I'm going to put that there. So it says here, Jennifer Dulos, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, is an American woman who went missing on May 24th, 2019. Authorities suspect she was killed in a violent attack at her home in New Canaan, Connecticut. Her ex-husband, Fotis Dulos, and his girlfriend, Michelle, were arrested on charges of tampering with evidence and hindering prosecution in connection with Jennifer's disappearance. Later, the two, along with Fotis' attorney, Kent Mawini, faced Mawini faced additional charges related to Jennifer's murder. Fotis died by his own hand in January 2020. Legal proceedings against Troconis and Mawini. I'm going to call him that. It sounds good, Mawini. I'm going to be very Mawini today. Mawini were ongoing as of June 2022. Their trial is scheduled to begin January 2024, which is now. It says Jennifer and Fotis were in the middle of a contentious divorce and child custody proceeding. Police suspect that Fotis had been lying in wait for Jennifer and attacked her when she arrived home after dropping off her children at school. Police allege that he and Troconis drove to Hartford to dispose of garbage bags containing items with Jennifer's blood on them the night that Jennifer disappeared. Police further allege that Mawini, I think it's Mawini, but I'm going to call him Mawini, conspired with Fotis and Troconis. If convicted, they would spend life behind bars. Yeah, what a horrible story. Another mother murdered in a divorce proceeding or a supposed divorce, like they were going to divorce. And it happens far too often. So we have some information about the disappearance here. I put murder in the title because police alleged, obviously, she hasn't come back, that she was murdered. So actually, give me 1 second. 1 second. Sorry, I really had to sneeze, and I was like, please don't make me sneeze on camera. I really don't want to do that. I don't know why. I think it's all the wind. It's blowing up all the pollen and stuff like that outside. All right. Let's read. This is the update from today. It says former nanny to Jennifer's 5 children testified in a Connecticut court Tuesday that the missing presumed dead mother was in fear of her life. Former nanny Lauren Almeida testified during Michelle's trial that Jennifer was terrified of her husband in the months leading up to her presumed death. Almeida, I'm gonna say that Almeida. I'm gonna say Almeida, who cared for the couple's 5 children for 8 years until Jennifer's disappearance on May 24th, 2019, also provided additional details about Fotis' affair with defendant Michelle. As Crime Online previously reported, Troconis, who was dating Fotis at the time Jennifer vanished, is charged with murder conspiracy and evidence tampering. Prosecutors allege she helped Fotis concoct a timeline of his whereabouts on the day Jennifer vanished, and that she watched him put garbage bags with crime evidence into trash bins. Before her disappearance, Jennifer had become entangled in a contentious divorce and child custody battle with Fotis, who allegedly was dating Michelle in secret at the time. Fotis was later charged with murdering Jennifer at her New Canaan, Connecticut home, but he took his own life in January 2020, leaving Troconis to face the legal consequences alone. What a coward, right? Even his even his note was very, it's not me, it's everyone else. I have never done anything wrong. Even in death, I proclaim I am a saintly man. It says Troconis has denied all charges against her. There is a photo of her sitting in court. That look could cut ice. She looks like she's death staring someone on the stand. It says Almeida recounted her first meeting with Troconis at a private ski club during a Dulos family holiday in Aspen in March 2017. She described how Jennifer and Fotis' relationship unraveled shortly after. The big dynamic change was in March 2017, which is when Jennifer found out about his affair. Over the next several months, the couple's relationship became increasingly worse. She recalled an incident in which Jennifer returned to the Farmington property to retrieve some belongings. She was confronted by Dulos, who allegedly yelled at her and scared her to the point of hiding. He was yelling, and she closed the door behind her. She pushed her body up against the door, and he was trying to get in. He pushed the door more, and he saw his daughter and myself were in the room, and his demeanor totally changed. Eventually, he walked away, and she told me she needed to get out of the house. He sounds like a man who was quite violent when no one was watching, anything to get his own way. And I think that shows it to you. As soon as he knew someone else was watching, he was like, oh, nothing occurred here, carry on. Let me see if this if this is like a 5-hour trial video. We are not watching it. Yes, it is a 5-hour trial video. Give me a second. Let me see if someone can pronounce these names better than me. We should just name this channel Ping Can't Pronounce Names. That would be a great name for this channel. Let me see. Let me get you something better about this. This will be better. Just want to see if it plays. All right, there we go.
Of what will be one of the higher profile trials of the year. The victim, a Connecticut mother of 5 who went missing. Her body never found after years of searching. In a story that went national almost instantly, prosecutors alleging the husband of Jennifer Dulos and his girlfriend worked together to plan Jennifer's killing. The girlfriend, Michelle Troconis, is pleading not guilty as she now faces the charge of conspiracy to commit murder. And while people coast to coast heard about what happened, it's the local reporters on the ground who covered every in and out, every development in this case, including NBC Connecticut's Shannon Miller. She's been reporting on this story for years. She's got tonight's backstory.
A missing mother of 5.
Now to the case of missing New Canaan mother Jennifer Dulos.
The frantic search for her captivating the public. The estranged husband charged with murder, but his suicide under house arrest blowing up the entire case, and her body never found. Now, more than 4 years of investigations and legal drama, the grieving family of murdered mom Jennifer Dulos is finally getting a chance at justice. The trial of Michelle Troconis kicking off in a Connecticut courthouse. She stands accused of conspiring with Dulos' husband to plan the murder, charges she has pleaded not guilty to. I've been covering every twist and turn as a reporter for NBC Connecticut along the way. Lots of photographs being taken out here tonight.
Jennifer is an incredibly gentle and wonderful person. She loves her children dearly.
It began in May of 2019. Family and friends of Dulos reported her as missing, kicking off a statewide search. Almost immediately, suspicion landed on her husband, Fotis Dulos. The two were in the middle of a messy divorce and child custody battle. His new girlfriend, Michelle Troconis, also suspected.
A stunning development. Fotis Dulos, along with another woman, are under arrest in connection with a criminal investigation.
A week later, prosecutors charged a couple with evidence tampering and hindering prosecution. Surveillance video caught Fotis Dulos disposing of items that were found to contain traces of Jennifer's blood. Fotis' defense team hitting back with a shocking claim that Jennifer might have staged her own disappearance, like the plot of the book Gone Girl.
We are actively contemplating a revenge suicide hypothesis as an explanation.
Do you think the author of that book and that movie, Gone Girl, regrets writing it? Because it's not the first time I've had or seen on a thing like this, someone trying to provide a defense, and they're like, "Oh yeah, my wife is like the girl in Gone Girl. She faked her own death and disappearance, just to frame me because she's crazy." I mean, come on, you got to come up with a bit of defense in that. They found her blood everywhere. I mean, you have to give something. Well, he can't; he's dead. But this other woman, you got to give something better than a, a Gone Girl kind of. Oh, she set me up. Robert Lane says, Draconis has serious resting bitch face. I know, right? Lindy says he looks mean. Yes. Yep. Fotis is a coward. I agree. Took the easy way out and left his new lover to take the fall for it. She might have to spend her entire life in jail, and he's off in the ghost land, and she's, sitting here having to sit through a court thing of probably something more he did and she helped with or something like that. And now she has to cop 100% of it because there's no one else here to take the blame. So, all right, let's finish this video.
For her disappearance.
Prosecutors not convinced by that theory, but after months of searching, they still had no idea where Jennifer Dulos was. But 8 months after Jennifer went missing, prosecutors felt they had enough physical and circumstantial evidence to bring charges. In January of 2020, they charged Fotis Dulos with murder and charged girlfriend Michelle Draconis with conspiracy to commit murder.
Michelle Draconis in handcuffs.
Both of them put under house arrest as they waited trial. But then, just weeks later, a disturbing twist. This is where it all began earlier this morning at Fotis Dulos' Farmington home, that suicide attempt. Fotis Dulos rushed to the hospital after attempting suicide at his home in Connecticut.
When officers responded, they could see through a window that Mr. Dulos was sitting in his vehicle, and he had obvious signs of medical distress.
The accused, father of 5, trying to die by carbon monoxide poisoning in his garage. Then, 2 days later,
Fotis Dulos was declared dead tonight at 5:32.
prosecutors' main suspect gone, leaving behind a suicide note proclaiming his innocence.
Quote, I refuse to spend even an hour more in jail for something I had nothing to do with.
The next day, I sat down with Dulos' attorneys who vowed to clear their client's name.
He was accused by the world, and there was nowhere he wouldn't go or could go without whispering and hateful comments made about him.
Leaving his girlfriend, Michelle, to fend for herself in court. In May of that year, Draconis breaking her nearly year-long silence, proclaiming her innocence in a statement, saying she didn't know what Fotis was capable of, and, quote, I think it was a mistake to have trusted him.
She says, I think it was a mistake that I trusted him. You think? I mean, you're sitting in a courtroom being on trial for something that could put you away for many decades, and you're just now coming up with the conclusion that maybe I shouldn't have trusted him. I think maybe you could have had that thought when he killed his wife. I mean, that's when I begin. Anytime someone murders someone in front of me, I'm often like, yes, I think the trust circle has been broken now. And I'm probably going to have to put these people on the outside of my trust circle. I mean, it's just, what a weird thing to say. I mean, she has every opportunity now just to push back on everything on him. At least she sort of hasn't done that in a way, but she sort of is with that statement. Let me finish off this video. Sorry, we have to break it up for YouTube reasons.
ABC's Dateline features the saga that year, and I was happy to help provide context through all the twists and turns.
And we were finally able to put a face with this name. That immediate day after, it was the lead story on every single newscast.
Another 3 years passed without a major break in the case. Jennifer Dulos' body is still missing. Her memory lives on in her 5 children and in a makeshift memorial. But her most enduring legacy may be Jennifer's Law, signed by Connecticut's governor on the 2-year anniversary of Dulos' disappearance, which broadens the definition of domestic violence to better protect victims.
Shannon is joining us now from NBC Connecticut's newsroom up in West Hartford. Shannon, we're so glad to have you with us. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me, Hallie. This case has just gripped Connecticut for years. And today, no different. Michelle Troconis walking into Stamford Superior Court. And I have to tell you, she's done this dozens of times, but there was something different about today's court appearance. It was eerily silent when she walked in, Hallie. You could feel the weight of what today means finally getting to this point.
You know, this segment, in so many ways, Shannon, we talk about the backstory, right? Taking us behind the scenes, as you did there, sort of step by step, covering a case like this when you're on the ground at the local level, doing it sort of day in and day out. Talk us through now. Here we are years later, and it is the start of what is going to be, I think, a very closely watched trial, not just where you are in Connecticut, but around the country.
Yeah, I think what struck me the most today was just, again, that feeling of the weight of finally being here at the courthouse. When I made it upstairs, both Troconis' family were there, Jennifer Dulos' family were there. There were tears when Jennifer's mother walked into the courtroom. And then that tension just got even stronger today, Hallie, because for the first time, we saw these brand new videos from New Canaan Police and State Police, that body-worn camera video of them coming into Jennifer Dulos' house for the very first time after she'd been reported missing. You see these lives of her 5 children just come to a standstill. Their shoes still in the mudroom, their toys still out in the home. Their kitchen looked like they had balloons up there in that house the day and the night before she went missing. So these details are really going to.
Let's stop it there, but I actually have the body cam if you guys would like to see it. But I wanted to bring something up. I find this very interesting, but first I want to address this. Candy Williams says, did you see where a juror said love you to the prosecutor and was later removed? I mean, it's a weird thing to say. Maybe they really wanted to get out of jury duty. They were like, I love you, prosecutor. Remove me from this. It's a bit weird. Yeah, the thing I wanted to bring up is you heard in that video they said that they made a thing called Jennifer's Law or whatever. Every 2 weeks or so, I read a new story that's all about a new law that's been created for someone, a child that died, a woman who was murdered in a DV circumstance, something like that. And I don't know if it's because they have to be done state by state or something, but they seem to be coming up all the time. And I see them in Florida, in New York, in Connecticut, and wherever. And every couple of weeks, I see a new, like, Danny's Law or, Michelle's Law or something like that. It happens quite frequently, actually. And in Australia, it doesn't really happen at all. We've had a couple, but not as frequently as you guys have. All right. Robin Lee says that's one way to get out of jury duty. It is, right? Right, a little bit. All right, let's see if we can watch this body cam because I love body cam footage. Let's see if we can find it. We'll watch the little one. There's a 20-minute one, but I don't. Wait, can we just watch it from here? Let me just check this. Okay, that one's not going to work. We'll have to be very kind and say thank you to Law and Crime. We might not be able to watch all of it. Might be able to only see a little bit. It's always spooky, these walkthroughs of missing people homes, because it's like the life just stopped. That's what it always looks like to me. Frozen in time. Beautiful home. Beautiful home. like something out of a Macy's catalog or something. That house. By the way, this video is courtesy of Law and Crime Trials, lawandcrime.com. Does a little bit, right? Sort of looks like the body came from the Watts one. The Dulos family is very wealthy. You can tell. This looks like something out of a Hallmark movie. 65 in chat. What a blessing. Welcome, everyone. Glad to have you here tonight. I'm trying to give you a bit of talking over the top because these guys are just panting while they're walking around. I wonder who the woman in the photo in that portrait is. Ah, Jackie Kennedy. Okay. Jackie O. He was a murderer. Oh, you mean what he did before that? Okay, I'm not sure. Sounds like he had a real estate group or like company, and he did a lot of investing and things like that. Hi, Marielle. How are you? He had a company called, if I can find it, the Fall Group Inc. He was the founder, and he was a real estate developer.
Like just there.
Is that her phone that they found? They just picked up? Hey, Barbie Lips, good to see you. Children's bedroom. I wish my home was disorganized. I've seen far too many horror movies. When he was going to move that shower curtain, I was expecting someone to jump out and scare him.
Text you on there.
Hey, Brandon, good to have you.
It's an iPad, but it doesn't make anything. There.
Hey, Peekaboo Cockatiel, glad to see you.
Got it.
Even if they checked the house, you'd think a house this large would have so many hidey holes to hide like a body or a person or something. Even if they checked all the rooms and under the beds and stuff, it'd be in the roof, in the cellar, or between floors, and in the dumbwaiter, like all sorts of places. Yeah, I haven't seen any gloves yet, unless they're black gloves. Oh, that's a lot of kids' toys and sort of like Snaplock tubs. What's this, like an attic area? Oh, okay, like a playroom. Really cool. Yeah, like you see here, like look at all these little doors and hidey holes and air conditioning duct areas. The garage.
My bathroom.
Brandon says at Barbie Lifts, if the nanny was right, he had a gun, but it was not mentioned in court today. Going to be a very interesting trial, I think. We're going to find out a lot over the coming days and weeks.
No, it looks like this is. You check that one?
I know, right? You would keep fit walking around the home. It's the children that always suffer in these type of murders and things like that.
Yeah.
Hey, Joe. Joe says houses in that area regularly sell for $1.5 million and up. My daughter lives next town over. Thank you for the insight. Interesting, right? They could have been walking into a crime scene, which apparently they did, and they're contaminating it by touching everything, even though they think at the moment it's just a missing person case. But still, you never know.
All right, I got a picture of that one that was hanging there. I got a flash back out there.
Family photo.
This has got to be a dated picture, though. That's got to be a really dated picture. That's the pictures he boys with. Probably.
You know, Marielle, there's a show about that they released last year about people who live in your home. It was a documentary series. It's about 10 episodes.
Staff 3 to headquarters. 3. All right, I've located that vehicle. It is parked on the side of the road on Lapham, approaching Talmadge. I have a secondary plate for you to run when you're ready. Connecticut.
So you never know. No. It has a set of Chevy Suburban. There's a Chevy set.
Go with the red. Connecticut 1, Alpha Juliet, Mike Uniform, Oscar 1AJ, NUO.
The police radio is way clearer
Show that on
than
a blue Mini Cooper. Registered to us. Baggers from out of the area. 3 can you send me a mark unit, check on this vehicle? It appears unoccupied at this time. That is Connecticut, Alpha Juliet 69099. That is the vehicle, correct? Affirmative, Alpha Juliet 69099, yes.
That was
Christine, you said you're on Lapham? Was that near the Merrick or more towards Waving? More
Yeah.
towards the Merrick.
Grab my camera from the car.
Yeah.
Take it from there.
Have a bumper yard.
It could be a deer. But strange. His wife did something, but dried first. Dry edges. What's that? Yeah, when he just called in, he had a lot of scuffing.
Did they just say the wife did something?
There's some back here too. Is there? Yeah, down here too. Strange. Take pictures. I'll call the out to
Headquarters to 13 or 70. 13. Can I have one of your units break? Staff relocated the vehicle on Lapham. Where is it? We'll both get there momentarily. This is 2015. We on Lapham near America.
verify that was a plate.
I was about to say the early parts really do remind me of Susan Morphew, very much so, especially the contentious about the divorce and, you know, separating and that type of thing.
On the lower portion of the car.
And it looks like it's been buffed or scraped or scratched all down through the driver's side.
Now they got the camera out. I wonder at some point do they realize that they cross-contaminated everything that they touched.
Oh, all right. Well, we're taking pictures and then we'll be out of here. And then we'll meet up with the captain on Lapham. Oh, thanks. Bye. Well, it's just strange in connection with the fact that we've got a missing person or potentially missing persons. You know? And yeah, scrapes on this side too, but there's no blood near them, so whatever they hit went down this side of the vehicle. Splattered all. Yeah. It's hard to get a picture of because the flash on this thing isn't working, I guess.
That's very spooky. Splatter on the side there.
Says unoccupied.
Flash gonna go. Stat 3, just confirming that vehicle is unoccupied.
All right, fair enough. All right, there's some in the tire too.
Proceed. If you like, I can request the dog to do a track. I have 13 and 7.
All over there.
Proceed. I'll leave that at their discretion.
It's all blood. All right.
13 at headquarters. Affirmative. See if you can get a K9. And before we leave here, if you want anything, we might need to affect.
Her jacket's in her purse.
As long as you can make access, you'll be able to track right off the driver's seat.
Let's grab that key. Yep, that's a good idea. I thought he said he came back to like a mini Cooper.
Saying that there might be an extra key in that suburban in the residence.
That's affirmative. We're grabbing the key. The residence is clear. We'll be in route left.
Received. I'll go on the hotline so I can look at the camera.
Did they say they called in a canine unit before too?
Alright, the car's straight. Yeah, it doesn't sit well with me, especially because like it's like a pattern here. You know what I mean? It's clearly right, not fur, but there it's up here too. It's hard to get any of this. This camera here. We should get better cameras. Hopefully this is getting it though. Right?
Did he just touch the bonnet?
Usually if you hit a deer and there's blood in your car, you take it to the car wash and get it cleaned. Especially a Range Rover. Let's see if there's any damage in it. I mean, this is grandma's car, so you never know. But switch there. Okay. Get your camera out, get your light out of here. Flashing my pictures out. All right.
There we go. Thank you to Law and Crime Trials, Law and Crime YouTube, your lawandcrime.com. That was very cool to watch that. Yeah, very interesting. M. Sherman. Hey, M. Sherman. Looks like a first line of inquiry where local PD gather initial evidence to then be reviewed by bosses and transferred to detectives assigned to the case file. Very much so. It does look like a initial kind of have a look around type thing. Marlene Clausen says, you got a missing woman and blood, you do the math. Yeah, I found that very interesting. They know it's a welfare type, missing woman type situation. They're looking for someone. They even, I swear they heard them say they were going to call in a canine unit. And they're just like, oh, is there blood there? Let me put my finger in it. Anyways, look, it's maybe that's something they can exclude later because they're cops working on the scene. I don't know, but interesting. A lock. And then stepping right on it. Yeah, I don't understand, but yeah, a lot of contamination. But that maybe that happens in a lot of crimes when you have an initial call out, because those police can't, for every 20 that they go to that is literally a missing person, one of them is a murder, or for every 80 that they go to, one is a murder. You know what I mean? It's a small percent. I don't know if that's why it's like that, but it is interesting. Once they saw blood, they were still touching things with no gloves. But I don't know. We'll see if it means anything. DJ said he also heard them call for a canine unit. Yeah, mom needs to rule the world. Yeah, that was I like seeing those body cams. They're a great invention. They keep everyone slightly more honest, don't they? Um, Before we get on to the next bit, I do want to thank Sean the Sheep for his donation yesterday. He sent a little bit more into the mushroom fund for later this year when we go to the trial for the mushroom murderer in Melbourne. We're going to go down to the Supreme Court and watch her sentencing and trial. So thank you, Sean. I appreciate it. Nanalana says, the coward offed himself but could not be a man and tell them where the body was. I know, right? So you decide to end your own life, and then you're just like, screw it. They'll find her body whenever they can. It'll turn up eventually. Don't worry about her. I mean, I don't get it. I don't like his note either. His note was full of self platitudes like, I'm the man of innocence and this and that, and I never did anything, and you guys are all bugging me over it. And bro, you're the one divorcing her. You're the one cheating on her. Where else do you want them to go with the investigation? I mean, that's how they all work. They work from the inside out. So they see, did you have some sort of arguments, or a divorce, which is a stressor? Yes. Were you arguing? Yes. Were you cheating? Was there sex outside of the marriage? Yes. So he hits all those kind of like check boxes that they look for in an initial investigation and stuff. So Cheated and Moss says, how many times does Ellie mess with evidence? Frustrating. Must treat every case as possible murder. True. You should keep every case as if it's going to need whatever you're looking at as evidence. Sorry, there's a little cat down there. I don't know what she's doing. Oh, by the way, for our Dallas Cowboy fans out there, Dallas is not firing their head coach Mike McCarthy. He's returning next year to get rolled out of the playoffs in round 1 again. I thought they would have made a change, but there you go. Yeah, just keep touching everything. Okay. Hey DJ, good to see you, by the way. I reckon we can do one more story for tonight. We'll continue with this trial tomorrow. If they're back, are they back in court tomorrow? Normally they would be. Let me just check if they got a Thursday thing. It looks like it. Here's that information about the juror. Let's see if this pops up. Hold on. It says juror in. Hello, what can I do for you? Hi. Yes, can I help you? Apparently, what is going on? Hi, Rory. Oh, thank you. Sorry, apparently you can't see me anymore. You can only see the cat. Rory, what are you doing? What's wrong? What's going on? You're hungry. I think she's hungry. She wants her lunch. Hey, baby, what's wrong? Yeah, what's wrong? Okay. Let me try and get this story out of the way. Let's see, what's this? It's 6 hours long. They're just saying the trial. I'm just trying to find this thing. It says juror in Traconis trial dismissed after "we love you" comment to prosecutor. So it was the prosecutor. That's how it happened. Give me 1 second. I'm going to give Wowie some biscuits. Give me 1 minute, okay? I'll be back. All right, sorry about that. I had to give her some biscuits. Yeah, she can. So can Muffin. They can tell when I'm talking on the camera, and they like to come and sit in between the camera and the where I am. No, Muffin's still here. He was sleeping up here earlier, but he hasn't taken a liking to the new desk yet. He will. Hey, yep, another Maria. Did she make it? Where is she? Hey, Susanna. How are you? Uh, Going to review later in the middle of something. Bye for now. Bye. M. Sherman. See you later. Have a great night. No, he hasn't given up. Where's yep another Maria? I wanted to say hello. Okay, I can't find her. I'll have to look later. All right, let's read this. Where are we? I've lost my place. Oh no, here we are. It says New Cannon detective says canine lost Jennifer Dulos scent near Metro North Station. That's interesting. New Cannon police detective Thomas Patton was the last witness to take the stand on Wednesday. Patton, the lead detective in the missing person case for Jennifer Dulos, before state police became involved, recounted how he arrived at Lappham Road near Waveney Park when officers located her abandoned Chevrolet Suburban on the side of the road. He testified that when he arrived, a Wilton police canine was at the scene with other New Cannon officers to search the area for Jennifer. During cross-examination, defense attorney John Shohorn asked Patton if the canine unit had followed the trail to the nearby Talmadge Hill Metro North Station before the dog had lost the scent, to which Patton replied affirmatively. There you go. During his testimony, Patton also explained to jurors how he had set up an interview with Fotis Dulos on the morning after the disappearance. Fotis Dulos and his attorney at the time arrived at the interview and informed police that he would not be speaking. The interview, however, was not in vain as investigators were able to seize his phone at the time. There you go. That's always good. Patton testified that location data from the phone later placed Fotis along Albany Avenue on the night of his estranged wife's disappearance. In arrest warrants, state police have said Fotis and Traconis were seen on video on Albany Avenue that night. Police said the video showed Fotis Dulos making a series of stops and discarding garbage bags, some of which were later recovered and contained his wife's blood and DNA. That's so spooky, and that reminds me so much of the other case. We were just talking about it. What's her name? Ping. What's her name? You tell yourself what her name is. The Rory. Stop. Um. Anyways, the one who went missing, and they haven't found her body yet. Actually, Susan Morphew. I mean, it reminds me so much of that because he had something similar. He was dropping off bits to different rubbish bins as well, if you guys remember. Yeah. I mean, it's very similar. I don't know why they take that approach. Drop it maybe to lessen the chance of having the things be found. That they, if you drop them in different rubbish bins, you have a higher chance of them being lost into the rubbish system. Maybe is that what it could be? Oh no, yeah. Sorry, her remains were found now. So Susan Morphew. I mean, she was missing for so long, unfortunately. Yeah, they found her body. Yeah, no, I remember. Yeah, Susan Morphew. Yeah, we were speaking about it earlier. So similar. Some of the early stages of this are so almost one for one. It's really freaky. Really freaky. Oh, Indian food. Lucky lady, no cooking tonight for you, Moonlight View. What are the times? It's 2:21. We're gonna round up for the night. Trial continues tomorrow. We'll be here. I'll be on. We'll talk about everything that happened during the trial. I promise I'll be back 9 p.m. Eastern. And I'm gonna look at how we can start doing a bit longer of a shows because I still have like about an hour of material for today. And but we're not gonna be able to get through it, unfortunately. So I don't know, maybe we have to start earlier or something. LA says, I seriously don't understand people's murderous. I don't understand murderous people. Yeah, it's a weird mentality to try and get yourself into. I thought that they would find her eventually, but not because they found her. It's probably because someone else found her, like a person or a hiker or something like that. Leisha says, make me hungry. Oh, yum. Floppy Muffin says, start earlier works for me. I mean, we can try and go at 8 Eastern. If 8 Eastern works for people, we can only do that during the summer months, though. Can't do that during winter, but we can during summer. It is possible. So, yeah, we could do that. And you guys have a show with Trish in about, I don't know, about 10 minutes, 5 minutes, something like that. And then Friday night, we are going to do the cell phone analysis or analytics. We're going to look, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to show you how cell phone tower tracking works in court cases and how they find that information. And I'm going to show you a couple of examples. That way, when you see them on court documents, you can kind of read them a little bit and see how they came to that information. So we're going to break that down on Friday. I was going to do it today, but I didn't get through enough of it. It's quite detailed last night, so I'll keep working on that tonight. And then we'll do that Friday night. We're going to do cell phone tracking, which will be interesting. And I'm going to tell you the limitations, what it can do, what it can't do, that type of thing. Yes, Kenny Williams says, thanks, Ping. Good night, everyone. Yes, I want to thank all the new subscribers. Thank you very much for subscribing to this channel. It is very kind of you. And thank you to all the people who show up here every single day to watch the stream or leave a comment. Oh, that's right. If you haven't received a reply to your comment, it's because we're having a weird issue with YouTube. When I log in on my account outside of StreamYard, I just get an error message and I can't get into my comment panel. So I'm going to try fix that tonight and then I'll get back to everyone. And if you haven't received a reply to your comment, that's why you will get one. I always try and reply to 95% of everyone I try and get to a reply because I don't want to be one of those creators that's like, oh, I'm too busy to reply to you, or you have to send in a super chat so I answer your question. I would never be like that. I'm never ever going to be like that. and I will try and talk to as many of the people who give up some of their time to at least leave a comment. Marlene Clausen says what? Marlene Clausen says, I need to know about phone tracking for a friend. Well, we can do some of that on Friday. So have your questions ready for Friday. Yeah, I know. I wish I could go longer than this too, but I'd run into Trisha's show and then like literally 70 or 80% of the audience would leave and go to Trish. So, I mean, yeah. We might have to look at going even earlier, like 8 p.m. So we'll see. I'll see if we can do that maybe this week. If not, we might start it from next week, next Monday, the Monday show, and we'll go from 8 a.m. Not 8 a.m., 8 p.m. at night, 8 Eastern. But yeah, other than that, have a great night. Please keep warm, keep safe, and thank you for supporting this channel. I really appreciate it. Worked hard on this, very hard, and yeah. I remember you said that, Ping, when you have 500,000 subs. I'll just write a computer program to reply to everyone. um, Yeah, I did actually. There was 4 people who copped hypothermia from being at the Kansas City game on the weekend. They got really sick and were placed into hospital from hypothermia from being at the game. They were quite ill. So yeah, I did actually see that, Leisha. How horrible. The NFL should have canceled that game and moved it to when it was like less cold. But they don't, so that's how it is. Anyways, good night everyone. I love you all. Have a great night. Please keep warm. Don't get any hypothermia, okay? Oh, it was at a private home. Oh, okay. I'll have to look it up, but thank you for letting me know. How horrible. They froze to death? No one should freeze to death in our world. We have so much money and resources. It's just ridiculous. I'll have a look for sure. Anyways, good night everyone. Love you all. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Yeah, if you post a link in the chat, Leisha, it doesn't show up. It gets caught. Only moderators can post links. But I'll look up the story when I'm off here, and then we might do it tomorrow night. Okay. Peace out, everyone. Good night.